Agents in America Part 3 is the 22nd episode of the second season of Frasier. It's directed by Philip Charles MacKenzie, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I discuss various aspects of the episode. And I have to say, it's not one of my favourite episodes, and I know why as well. Sometimes there's an episode that I maybe don't love that much, but there's not a specific reason. But with this one, there is, and that's because I can only take the character of Bebe in small doses. I think she's amazing, she's brilliantly written, she's wonderfully acted by Harriet Sansom Harris, but as a character, she is meant to rub people up the wrong way, and that comes across, and it means that I can only take the character in small doses, and because she's in pretty much the entire thing, it means I don't love it as much as other episodes, but I don't dislike it. But if I were to rank all of the season 2 episodes, which I might do one day, this would probably come near the bottom. Starts off with Niles and Frasier and Cafe Nervosa, and Bebe comes in and tells Frasier that his 8% raise isn't enough. He is worth more, and she can get him more. And then cut to the next scene, and we have actually this wonderful moment with Frasier, Daphne, and Martin at home watching television. Frasier is he's complaining about the names of the characters, and Daphne quite rightly points out that with a name like Frasier, you shouldn't make fun of other people's names because it is a very unique name, a wonderful name, but she has a point. And I love that scene because we don't often see Frasier just at home relaxing, spending time with Martin and Daphne. And it was a really lovely scene, and Martin has a smile on his face throughout the whole thing, and it was really beautiful and really heartwarming. Ross then comes in and tells Frasier that things are changing at KACL. They've painted over his parking space. They've removed his photo from the wall. They've even started to interview possible replacements. And it seems like Bebe's tactics aren't working. They're having the opposite effect. Not only is Frasier not getting the raise, but it looks like he might be getting the boot instead, which is not what anybody wants. And somebody arrives at the door with a box of Frasier's stuff. That's not a good sign. But Bebe comes to Frasier's apartment and reassures him that everything's going to work out. She knows what she's doing. And then things get a little bit strange and they get intimate. And I don't really like that, because I just don't believe it's something Frasier would have done. I don't think he would have slept with his agent. I don't believe it. So I don't buy into that part of the story. If other people believe it, then that's absolutely fine. Maybe it's just me. But it just felt very uncharacteristic of Frasier, and that meant that I didn't really like that part of the narrative. It was a little bit unexpected, and the element of surprise was quite good, but I didn't love it. However, the element of surprise gets even stronger, and we have a very kind of ironic scene, actually. But I can't go into too much detail about why it's ironic, in case you haven't seen Cheers. But Bulldog rushes into Cafe Nervosa and tells Frasier, who is there, that Bebe is threatening to jump from the ledge at KACL. And Frasier rushes there, and rightly enough, Bebe is standing on the window ledge outside. And I won't say much about this, but it's ironic that Frasier finds himself on the side of the negotiator. And I thought it was a pretty interesting moment, and certainly very well done, very well filmed. And I think I realised pretty quickly what was going on. I can't remember the first time I saw this episode, but I think it's pretty obvious what Bebe was doing at this point. And ultimately it turns out that she was doing this for Frasier's benefit. That's mad. That's insane. And it's very much in keeping with the character. And I rather enjoyed it. I don't like anything that makes light of attempted suicide or anything, of course not. But within the context of the episode, I thought it worked very well for Bebe's character. But also putting Frasier in that position was also very interesting, based on something that happened in Cheers. And Frasier finds out, of course, that this was all her plan, and when they're alone together afterwards, he starts saying basically everything that I've said, that she was mad for doing this, and she has this most amazing line, and I wish they cut it after her line. Frasier actually replies to her, and then the episode ends, and then we have the scene that we always have over the closing credits, but I wish her final line was the final thing we heard, because he's saying all of these things, you're crazy, you shouldn't have done this, what do you have to say for yourself? And she says to him with the most amazing smile, aren't you glad I'm on your side? I love it. if you've got somebody in your life who's vindictive, of course you want them on your side, because if they turn against you, that's not going to be pretty. And I thought that was such a powerful line, and her facial expression was amazing. And I wish they'd cut it there. I wish Frasier didn't reply because it didn't need a response. But it doesn't harm the episode having Frasier replying. I just think it would have been a more powerful ending if they'd ended it there. But nevertheless, it's not a bad episode. I don't dislike it. I just don't love it because most Frasier episodes fill me with so much love and happiness, and this one not so much because Bebe's not the easiest character to get on board with. As I said, very very well written, brilliantly performed, but somebody who I can only take in small doses. But nevertheless, Agents in America Part 3 is a good episode, and I'm sure I will watch it again at some point.